allergies are coming. But I think I found something that helps, at least while indoors. So this is it right here, the Molekule. An anodized aluminum cylinder that I've heard many describe as very Apple-like in its design sensibilities. There's a 360-degree air intake at the bottom, air vents at the top, a circular touch display, as well as a handle for moving this from room to room. You may also notice a slight blue light coming out of the top. Maybe it's not picking up on video, but this is a UVA light. Key to the Pico technology, which this uses to destroy microorganisms, but more on that in a little bit. I've gotten many comments asking how loud is the Molekule air purifier. Believe it or not, it's on right now. This is actually in the silent mode, so it should be pretty quiet. Standing as close to it as I am, I can hear a faint sort of whisper, but you probably can't hear it on camera. Alright, so from silent, I'm going to put it on boost. Now this setting definitely is quite loud, but useful if you've just cleaned, or let's say you've seared a steak on the stovetop and you've just filled your apartment with smoke. Something I've definitely never done. And lastly, there's auto. This is the setting I leave mine in 99% of the time. Now, the speed of the fan in auto is determined based on your room size. So when you plug in the Molekule for the first time, it'll ask you how big is your room. It has 3 different ranges. I have a kind of small apartment, so I put it on the 200 to 400 square foot option, but it can clean up to 600 square feet with a single unit. Let's put it on silent for the remainder of this video. So what makes this thing so special and different than other air purifiers on the market? So first of all, the Molekule uses 2 air purifiers. The first is what they call their pre-filter, and is essentially a HEPA filter, and that gets the big stuff like dust, dander, and pollen. The second, known as the nano or pico filter, is what sets this unit apart from all the rest. Now, pico stands for photoelectrochemical oxidation. Now, just a disclaimer, I'm not a scientist. No, I don't play one on the internet, and this is not a scientific review, but I'm going to try to explain how this works. So there is a coating on the filter. When the pollutants and microorganisms come into contact with that, they are trapped there, and then the UVA light acts as a catalyst and excites that coating, oxidizing those microorganisms and leaving behind base elements. Another question I get asked a lot is about ozone and the UV light. Now, it is true that UVC light does generate ozone, a known lung irritant. And what's the point of having an air purifier to clean your air, make it easier for you to breathe, if you're just going to put a lung irritant into it? But most of the air purifiers on the market that do use UV light are using UVC. UVC is also harmful for your eyes, so direct exposure. Think tanning beds. Why do you have to wear those funny looking goggles? Because it's not good for you. This is UVA. It's a lower power wavelength. It's actually the same found in like household black lights. This not only does not generate ozone, it actually reduces the ozone in the air by running the Molekule. Now, there are some independent studies linked below if you want to read up more on the ozone and the amount of microorganisms and all the kind of science behind this device. Let's talk a little bit more about the hardware. So, as I mentioned, there are 2 filters. The pre-filter has to be replaced every 3 months, and the pico filter has to be replaced every 6 months. Now, they do offer a subscription plan, so you can have those automatically shipped out to you, so you've always got a fresh filter when you need it. Let's talk about changing the filters. It's very simple. All you have to do is push down, rotate, this pops up. Very reminiscent of the shaving cream can scene in Jurassic Park. If you know, you know. And then the pre-filter just slides out of a tray in the bottom, and the pico filter is right here, just pops out of the top. Just push down, spin it, and it comes back on ready to go again. If you want to see the process of changing and unboxing the new filters in more detail, I do have a previous video I've made linked below. We've already touched on the different fan speeds, but there is one other mode that's selectable from the display on top. If you swipe to the side, that'll reveal dark mode. So dark mode turns off the UVA light. Now, this is great if you're a sensitive sleeper and can't have any ambient light in the room. However, by turning off the light, you are disabling that photoelectrochemical oxidation process, and thus this is just a regular air filter at this point. Yes, it is still circulating air. There are filters catching larger particles, but you're not destroying anything on the surface of the filter. The second you turn that light back on, the chemical process resumes. So you want to use that dark mode as sparingly as possible, but like I said, if you want to have this in your room, circulate air, have some kind of white noise in the background, it's a great option for you. I personally never use the dark mode. I actually sleep with the light on because I personally want the cleanest air possible while sleeping. And now let's touch on the software side. So this is a smart device. It is Wi-Fi connected. That's great because Molekule will push firmware updates to this from time to time and continue to improve the functionality. Now, the core functionality of it, the filtering, that's never going to change because that's all based on hardware. But the usability, a new feature I just noticed when moving this out here to do this review, is when you plug it back in, it asks you, have I moved? Now, in the past, simply unplugging it or a power outage would cause you to have to go through the whole setup procedure again, recalibrate, enter your room size, all of that. Now, you could just hit no, and it would just pick up where it left off. So that's a nice thing about having that Wi-Fi connectivity. There's also an app for the Molekule. Now the app can do things like push notifications to you if it's time to replace a filter, which can be a nice reminder, and then also just allow you to control the device remotely. Personally, if I ever have to put it on silent mode or boost mode, it's almost always quicker to just walk over, tap the touch display on top of the device and change it rather than get my phone out, find the app, and change it. It's just, for me personally, quicker to just do it on the device itself. But if you're into having everything controlled from your smart devices, you know, definitely maybe worth looking into that for you. So circling back to the point I made in the beginning of this video. Now, that opening sequence was shot in the city of trees, Sacramento, California. Now, what comes with so many species of trees? Many, many types of allergens. Now, just going outside with the leaf blowers blowing, as you heard earlier, there's constantly dust and all kinds of things floating around the air. You'll be randomly sneezing, itchy eyes, runny nose, all the typical seasonal allergy sufferer type stuff, but people that normally don't have allergies tend to get them when they move here. So it's nice at the end of the day, after being out and about, to come home to a house full of fresh air and get some relief from those symptoms. So in conclusion, do I recommend the Molekule? Of course I do. I've been using it daily for the last 2 years, almost 2 years. And for the record, they did not send me this device to review. I purchased it with my own money. I've just continued to make these reviews because of the benefits I've received from using it. And back when I purchased this, there weren't any videos out on YouTube reviewing it. So I had to do a lot of research myself. And so I think that by creating these videos are helping you get further educated on the product that you might want to buy without having to do a bunch of separate searching all around the internet. So if you've enjoyed this video and would like to support this channel, there is a link below to buy the Molekule. If you click that, it will help support the channel at no additional cost to you. There's also a code down below. At the time of publishing this video, it is Jordan. That is subject to change, but just my name, Jordan. Enter that and you can receive an additional special discount just for watching my videos. So if you are interested in purchasing the Molekule, definitely check that out. I thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more like this, please subscribe. Click the like button. I'm sure you've heard this all before if you watch any videos on YouTube, but hit subscribe and hit that notification bell if you want to see my new videos pop up in your feed. And with that, hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will see you here soon.